From buying an $80,000 car that loses 50% of its value in 5 years, to realizing you could have had $385,000 if you'd just invested instead. These are 7 investments that are keeping you poor. Improving your home feels like one of the smartest things you can do with your money. After all, it's your biggest asset. Not always. Every year, millions of homeowners pour tens of thousands into luxury upgrades believing it will raise their home's value. And while some renovations do offer decent returns, many are just expensive personal choices disguised as smart financial moves. On average, they cost $75,000, but only return about $45,000 when you sell. That's a 40% loss, not even counting the stress, time, or debt. Spa bathrooms, home theaters, elaborate landscaping, same story. You may love them, but buyers don't pay for taste. They pay for utility and flexibility. Worse, hyper-customized features can actually repel potential buyers. Think you're adding value with a custom gym, aquarium wall, or built-in bar. Unless your future buyer shares your exact lifestyle, you're reducing your market, not expanding it. Sarah from Atlanta learned this the hard way. She spent $90,000 upgrading her master bath with imported marble, a sauna, and a Japanese soaking tub. 3 years later, her realtor told her buyers were turned off. Too niche, they said. She sold for $30,000 less than asking. A painful lesson. Wealthy homeowners think differently. They invest in things that protect the value of their property: a new roof, better insulation, neutral paint, upgraded windows, or an efficient HVAC system. These aren't sexy, but they deliver quiet ROI. It counts. So what's the takeaway? If you're renovating just for your own enjoyment, that's great, but be honest about it. It's consumption, not investment. And if you're using debt to do it, the risk multiplies. Smart rule. If it doesn't solve a clear functional issue, or you're really not planning to sell in 5 years, think twice before calling it a financial move. Ever done a home upgrade you thought was an investment, but turned out to be a loss? Drop it in the comments. You're not alone. There's something seductive about collectibles. Limited edition sneakers, rare watches, vintage comic books, trading cards. They feel like a smarter, cooler way to build wealth that's investing, but with style. Right? Not quite. Here's the truth. Most collectibles are not investments. They're speculative assets that depend on hype, emotion, and timing. 3 things no serious investor relies on. Take the sneaker market. Resellers make it seem like buying the latest Yeezys or Air Jordans is a shortcut to passive income. But for every person who flips a pair for a $200 profit, there are thousands stuck with boxes collecting dust and value slipping fast. Trends shift, demand dries up, and what was once limited suddenly isn't cool anymore. A watch is one of the most misunderstood financial plays out there. Luxury watch sellers often say it holds its value. That might be true for very specific models, like a Rolex Submariner or a Patek Philippe bought at retail price and held for years. But most people buy at inflated resale prices. And even then, maintaining and insuring high-end watches can eat into any gains. Let's talk liquidity. The ability to turn something into cash. If your investment can't be sold quickly at market value, it's not liquid. And most collectibles are painfully illiquid. You may love that signed Jordan rookie card, but try selling it in recession when no one's spending $15,000 on nostalgia. There's also the risk of forgery and counterfeits, especially with art, luxury goods, and trading cards. Unless you're an expert or working with a verified dealer, you may be throwing money into something fake. Jake from Chicago spent over $20,000 building a sneaker collection. He considered it a portfolio, but when he needed cash during a job loss, he discovered the harsh reality. The resale market was cold, and most of his inventory sold for 50 to 70% below what he paid. The wealthy do sometimes buy collectibles, but they treat them as passion assets, not financial ones. They buy them after their core investments are secured. They buy what they love, expecting nothing in return. So unless you're a true collector with deep knowledge, treat collectibles as what they really are, luxuries, not investments. If you thought this was a smart investment, get ready. The next example is even sneaky. It shines, it roars, it turns heads, and it's one of the most common financial traps out there. Buying a luxury car and calling it an investment. Here's the illusion. It holds value. It shows success. It's reliable. But the truth, a car is a depreciating asset, and the fancier it is, the faster it drops in value. Let's get specific. The moment you drive a brand new luxury car off the lot, it loses 10 to 15% of its value instantly. Within 5 years, most cars, even premium brands, lose 50 to 70% of their original worth. That $80,000 Mercedes likely worth $35,000 by year 5, and yet you're still paying high insurance, maintenance, fuel, and maybe even financing with interest. But I got a great lease deal. That's another trap. Leasing often means lower monthly payments. Sure, but you're repaying to rent a depreciating item with nothing to show for it at the end. Meanwhile, someone else is building real wealth by not trying to look wealthy. Let's talk about Buffett again. Warren Buffett, a billionaire, drove a used Cadillac for years, not because he couldn't afford better, but because he understands one simple truth. Wealth isn't what you drive, it's what you own that pays you. And yet, so many people stretch themselves thin for the illusion of success. They finance cars they can afford to impress people who don't even notice or care. Jake from Austin bought a brand new BMW M4 after his first big promotion. Monthly payment, $950. He wanted to sell, only to find he still owed $10,000 more than the car's market value. It was an ego purchase, he admitted. I felt rich, but I was broke. So what do the wealthy do? They buy value-based vehicles, reliable, efficient, used cars that hold their value better and require less upkeep. Think Toyota, Honda, Lexus. They prioritize net worth over Netflix. And here is a fun stat. If you invested that same $80,000 into an S&P 500 index fund 20 years ago, subscribe if you've ever told yourself a car was an investment. No judgment. We've all been there. It starts with a message from an old friend. I just started a business that's changing my life. You'd be perfect for it. What follows sounds like a dream. Flexible hours, passive income, the chance to be your own boss. Welcome to the world of multi-level marketing, also known as MLMs. And spoiler alert, for most people, it's not a business. It's a financial black hole wearing a motivational hoodie. Let's break it down. The model looks simple. You join, you sell products, and you recruit others to do the same. But here's the hidden truth. The money isn't in selling products, it's in recruiting people. And when money is made by building a pyramid of people beneath you, not actual value, we've got a problem. According to the FTC, over 99% of MLM participants lose money. Think about that. The odds are worse than gambling. At least in Vegas, you get free drinks. People spend hundreds or even thousands on starter kits, training events, monthly inventory, and promotional materials, all in pursuit of freedom that never arrives. Emma from Portland joined a skincare MLM after seeing her college roommate post about earning residual income. She spent $1,200 on products and marketing, made $300 in commissions, and lost to friendships along the way. It wasn't a business, she said. It was a social trap. Even the ones who do make money often earn less than minimum wage once you count hours worked. That's not passive income, that's active frustration. And the pitch always includes this line: you're investing in yourself. No, you're investing in their dream while paying for the privilege to work for free. Wealthy people don't fall for these schemes because they know real passive income doesn't come from convincing your cousin to sell candles. It comes from assets that generate cash flow. Rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, digital products, intellectual property, things that earn while you sleep without needing a downline. So next time someone slides into your DIMS with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, just remember, if you have to pay to join the team, you're not the business owner, you're the customer. Let's be real. Crypto sounds like the ultimate investment hack. It's fast, futuristic, and every time Bitcoin spikes, someone posts a screenshot of turning $300 into a Lambo and, hey, blockchain is revolutionary. But investing in crypto without a clear strategy, that's not forward thinking, that's financial roulette with better branding. Here's the trap. People buy crypto not because they understand it, but because they're afraid of missing out. That's FOMO investing. And it's a guaranteed way to get burned. If your entire investment plan is, I saw it on TikTok and it's going to the moon, you're not investing. You're gambling in code. Take altcoins, for example. There are over 20,000 cryptocurrencies today. Some have real-world utility, most don't. And some, like the infamous Squid Game coin, were outright scams that vanished overnight, taking millions with them. Then there's timing. Many people buy at all-time highs, the point of maximum excitement, and sell during crashes, locking in losses. That's not bad luck. That's lack of a plan. Marcus from Dallas bought $8,000 worth of various coins in 2021. Right before the crash, he didn't research. He didn't diversify. Wealthy investors treat crypto like one slice of a diversified portfolio, not the whole pie. They use cold wallets for security. They understand tokenomics. They follow actual use cases, and they only invest what they can afford to lose. If you're deep into crypto, ask yourself, do you understand the technology or project behind the coin? Do you know how to secure your investment? Do you have an exit plan? If the answer is no to any of those, you're not investing, you're speculating. And speculation can make money, but relying on it to build long-term wealth is like planning your retirement around lottery tickets. Subscribe if you've ever checked your crypto portfolio 10 times a day and cried at least once. You're among friends here. Real estate, just saying the words makes you feel like a grown-up investor. Buy property, they're not making any more of it. Rent money is dead money. It's the safest investment on earth. And yes, real estate can be one of the best wealth-building tools out there. But here's the catch most people miss. Bad real estate is worse than no real estate at all. Too many people rush into property ownership because they believe any home is a good investment. But the truth is, location, condition, and demand matter more than square footage or granite countertops. Let's say you find a cheap house in a struggling town. The price is right, the rent seems decent, and you're excited. But then reality kicks in. High vacancy rates, low quality tenants. Property taxes keep rising, neighborhood crime scares, off-renters, zero appreciation over time. Suddenly, your investment property is a full-time job in a money pit. Karen from Michigan bought a triplex in a small town she'd never lived in, based on an online seminar. Within a year, 2 tenants stopped paying. 1 unit flooded due to bad plumbing, and the city issued a fine for code violations. Her passive income dream became a stress nightmare. And flipping, that's a whole different beast. Unless you know the market, the permit process, local contractor, and cost estimation inside out, you'll bleed cash faster than you can hammer drywall. Wealthy investors know this. They don't buy cheap, they buy smart. They look for areas with job growth and population increases. Properties near infrastructure upgrades, rentals with cash flow potential, not just appreciation, low maintenance, buildings in stable neighborhoods, and most importantly, they run the numbers. Does rent cover the mortgage, insurance, taxes, and repairs, with profit left over? If not, it's not an investment. It's a liability with bricks. Remember, a property that looks like a deal can turn into a debt anchor if it's in the wrong place with the wrong tenants or the wrong timing. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it absolutely does. It's sold as the ultimate 2-in-1. It's life insurance and an investment. Sounds smart, right? One policy that protects your family and grows your wealth. What could go wrong? A lot. Actually, let's start with the basics. Whole life insurance is a permanent policy that includes a cash value component. Over time, that cash value grows slowly, and you can borrow against it. The problem? It's insanely expensive compared to term life insurance and a terrible place to grow your money. Take this example. A 40-year-old healthy person might pay $400 per year for a 20-year term policy with $500,000 in coverage. That same coverage with a whole life policy, $4,000 to $5,000 per year. That's 10x the cost every year. And that extra money, you'd think it all goes into growing your cash value, right? Wrong. In the early years, most of your premiums go to commissions and fees. It might take 10 years or more before your cash value even equals the amount you paid in. That's not growth. That's financial quicksand. James from Ohio bought a whole life policy at 35, paying $4,500 a year. And here's the kicker. Most people don't even need life insurance for life. You need it during the years you have dependents, a mortgage, or business obligations. After that, term policies expire, and the need is usually gone. Wealthy people don't overpay for insurance. They buy term, at low costs, invest a difference in index funds, real estate, or retirement accounts, and use actual investment vehicles for growth, not insurance policies. Whole life insurance is a product that sounds smart, is marketed like an elite strategy, but functions as a wealth transfer from you to the insurance company. Unless you're ultra wealthy with estate planning needs, it's almost never the right move.